Have you ever sat for hours and hours at your desk or in front of your computer, or at your job, or whatever you're trying to do, and the end of the day comes before you know it, and you look back and you realize you haven't got anything done? Well, guys, don't worry, you're not alone. There are countless people out there feeling just the same way. In fact, I was one of them. In this video, I'm gonna go over 7 of my best productivity hacks. And at the end, I'm gonna throw in my 8th one, which is a bonus, which is actually my favorite one. So make sure you stay tuned to the end. My name is Chasse. I've been in crypto for 10 years. I run several different companies in the crypto space. My time is very limited and I value it highly. In order for me to be able to achieve all of this, I needed to be more productive. So I'm gonna teach you the things that I've done, the things that you can apply to your life. There's one thing I wanna stress before we dive into this, guys. Time is, without a doubt, the most valuable asset that you have. So I encourage you to treat time like it's worth. You do have a finite supply of it. It will run out one day. And the last thing you want to do is to watch your life pass before you without being able to fully appreciate it and enjoy it. And some of you may feel like you never have time to do things that you want to do. Maybe you're working around the clock at work. You've just got a million things that are on your to-do list and it never seems to be exhausted. That's simply a matter of becoming more productive. So let's get into my hacks on how to do that. All right, guys, so the first one is going to be find a time of day where you have very little distraction. So this may or may not apply to you. For myself, it applies dramatically. So there's a period of my day where I am inundated with requests, messages, emails, Telegram messages, tweets, videos, things to do. And people are always coming and messaging me, knocking on my door. And that's fine, right? That's the position I'm in. That's my responsibility to do that. So for me, what I ended up doing was shifting my schedule later. For me, and I have a feeling for a lot of people watching this, especially if you're in crypto or technology, a lot of us just seem to be nocturnal. And me, myself, I am. So for me, I usually work until about 3 or 4 a.m. Now, that means that I'm waking up between like 10 and 11 a.m. And when I get to my desk and start to work, it's game on. And this is when the inundation happens and everyone knows I'm awake and I'm getting bombarded. But around 8 p.m. or so, 8, 9 p.m., something miraculous happens. It goes totally silent. When that happens, I feel like the dude from Limitless movie, right? Like I could just get massive amounts of things done. And that's what I need to do it. So whatever works for you, whether it's waking up early, going to bed early, or waking up late, staying up late, it's very important that you find a time of day without distractions so you will then enter into your flow state, right? And a very good book to read is Deep Work by Cal Newport. Basically, flow state is essentially that. It's a state of mind when things just seem to flow. This is when we become the most productive, right? Things just seem to flow. We get in a state of mind when it just comes to us, right? Unlike going through a document, getting distracted, what is that, and then coming back. Did you know that every time that you get distracted from reading, it takes on average 10 seconds to go back, find where you were, and reread the information that you read before? We tend to like routines, and they tend to make us more productive. So make sure that whatever you choose, early morning or late at night, that it is the same time every single day. The next one is time blocking. Now I'll read a quote from Cal Newport, again from the same book I referenced earlier. And he says, a 40-hour time blocked work week, I estimate, produces the same amount of output as a 60-hour work week pursued without structure. So essentially what we're talking about is, let's say that you have a bunch of tasks that you need to do from that your boss gives you or something. One block can be tackled to-do list, right? And when that block hits the time on your calendar, boom, you just switch from whatever you're doing directly into getting those done. And another thing is we all check our inbound messages or Telegram or email every single day, right? But an entire day can go by just getting lost into multiple conversations on Telegram because I go back and check it and then they reply and then they expect you to reply instantly. What I suggest for emails and Telegram, if you can do this, is just find 2 blocks of time every day. Maybe it's 30 minutes as soon as you get to work and 30 minutes before you leave to open up that email box, look at your messages, reply to everything nice and thoroughly, and just know that you're not gonna look at those until the end of the day or until the next morning. Just look at your day, the things that you do, block them into groups of time, and make sure you follow that every single day. Okay, so the next hack, guys, is something that when I implemented this in my life, it changed my life forever. I honestly, like it literally completely was the best thing that I ever did for myself from a pure happiness perspective and productivity perspective. Now, this is hiring an assistant. Now, a lot of you watching this may not be at a place where you can hire a full-time assistant that's there with you to do these kind of things, but there's different types of assistants. So for example, if you have things that you need to do, like responding to emails or responding to inbound inquiries or organizing your calendar, guys, there are virtual assistants, right? And you can just Google this. There's virtual assistants in places like Philippines or India. I recommend Philippines because they speak really, really good English and they tend to have really high standards of quality. In the Philippines, you can get a virtual assistant for somewhere in like $4 or $5 an hour, and that can relieve a lot of things from you, and you have an assistant. And if you're making a bit more money and you have some extra money to spend on yourself, on your business, there's other types of assistants too. Like I just liked having my place clean, and I am not someone who likes to do laundry or clean the floor or cook. The first assistant that I hired when I was in Los Angeles happened to be a gay guy named Steven. Now, one of the biggest needs that I needed was taking care of my personal house, right? I will tell you what, my house had never been so clean, my clothes so organized, having healthy food all the time, and that made me super happy. I can tell you, when you do have an assistant that helps with whatever it is that you don't like to do, right? So for me, that was incredibly valuable because it bothered me when my house wasn't clean and things weren't organized. So for me, that distracted me, it made me anxious, and I couldn't be as productive. Now, an executive assistant is as you get a bit higher up, and you need someone that becomes essentially an extension of you, someone that will shadow you for a long time, learn the way you think, the things that, how you like to do things, the way you communicate with your customers, and they will essentially start looking through your emails, your Telegram messages, just doing all the things that they are capable of doing because they've essentially understood how you would communicate. And guys, that again alleviates a lot of your time doing these little tasks and allows you to focus more on the big picture of what your goal is and what you're trying to achieve, the kind of things that only you can do. The way that I think about assistants overall is think about what you value your time at, understanding how much time it would take you to do the tasks that they will do. And if you believe that your time is worth more than you're paying them, it makes sense to do that. Guys, the next one is goal setting. So goal setting, we all do that, right? Like every New Year's comes around and we all make some goals for the New Year's resolution, and a lot of times we just do not follow through on them. Well, goals can help you be the most productive ever if you make those goals achievable, and you have to believe that you will achieve these goals. It has to be real to you. And in order for you to believe that you can achieve this goal, you need to do things that imprint it in your mind as a reality. So that means things like visualization, right? So create your goal and then close your eyes and think about what it feels like to be in that place. Maybe now you're 40 pounds lighter, or maybe now you have made $500,000 this year, and after taxes and everything, you have an extra 250 grand in your bank account. How does that feel? How does it make you feel, right? Now, not only do we need to visualize it often, we can break that down even further. So part of goal setting is making it so it's realistic into little, small, actionable steps. The goal that we set is a huge, ambitious thing. It's a goal for a reason. It is hugely ambitious, but how do we get there? Well, you need to make a plan on how to get there, right? So if our goal in 1 year is to achieve X, what do we need to do on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis to make sure that we achieve that goal? So write those down, create a plan, and make sure that you stick to those things every single day. And trust me, you will get there. That is how you become extremely productive at goal setting and goal achieving. The next one is, again, it kind of ties in with the last one. This is called the 2-day rule. Now, in order for us to achieve our goals, we must make things like routines. Like, let's say that your goal is weight loss, right? And so you want to make sure that you're going to the gym at least 5 days a week. Some days we just get too busy and things get out of hand and you skip the gym, right? That's okay. You skip the gym, shame on you, but it's okay. The next day, you need to make sure that you do whatever you do not miss that second day, because once we have formed a habit, which takes about 21 days. So if your goal is to lose the weight and you start going to the gym, trust me, it is going to be a bitch for the first 21 days. Once you form the habit, it becomes very easy. It becomes like secondary nature, but it is easy to fall out of habit much faster than it is to create the habit. This is why the 2-day rule is so important. You miss the gym one day, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. But day 2, I don't care how busy you are. I don't care how busy you are, what you did. I don't care if you get done at 10 p.m. at night and you're exhausted. Just don't miss a second day, because if you miss a second day, you're much more likely to miss the 3rd day and the 4th day. And before you know it, you haven't gone to the gym a week and you just write it off. This is how we lose focus, productivity, and why we fail to accomplish the goals that we set out for ourselves. All right, guys, and the next one is the 2-minute rule. 2-minute rule is essentially whenever a task comes at you that will take less than 2 minutes to do, just do it, right? So like a lot of times you might get asked to forward an email or something, right? And you have a choice when you're asked to forward an email. You can either add it to your to-do list, or you can literally just stop whatever it is that you're doing and go do it right now, because it's gonna take less than 2 minutes to do. Statistics just show that when you can knock out these little tasks that take a very short amount of time, it's much more efficient just to get them done. This is why we have those blocks of time before, so we don't get distracted in our day from people asking. So I expect fully that for me personally, from 8 p.m. until 4 in the morning, nobody is asking me to do anything. And so I don't mind in the hours when I expect things to be asked of me to do these things. So I fully comply with the 2-minute rule. Boom, someone asks me to do something, I do it, right? Now, the next one is extremely important, right? You need to make time for you. What does that mean? I don't know. It's different for everybody. If you don't make time for you, if you just work around the clock, what will inevitably happen, and trust me, it happens to everybody, even the strongest, most driven people will get burnt out. And once you burn out, that production across the board dramatically decreases, meaning that you could still be sitting in front of your computer or at your desk. And if you're burnt out, you're just gonna start moving very slow through things, and everything's gonna start being like a pain in the butt to do. Find time to do the things that make you happy, that can re-energize yourself. So if you have the freedom to take a day or 2 off, maybe that's what you need to do, right? Maybe you're the type of person like me, for example, who has no problem working really hard. Like I can even go probably like 14 days straight without taking time off. But eventually I will need some time off, and I'm just telling people, do not bother me. I just need to separate for a little while, and then I'll go do whatever I want. For you, it might be not working so hard through and then taking whole days off. Maybe it's just taking 15-minute breaks throughout the day to go for a quick jog, or have a chat with your friend, or, follow up on Tinder and talk to whoever you're, like whatever it is that you want to do, take the time for yourself. It's very important. We can all get lost in our responsibilities and our work, in the things that we're expected to do, and we will forget to take the time that we need for ourselves to keep ourselves sane and happy. All right, guys, now the bonus I was talking about. This is really great. So consuming content, right? You should all be consuming content. You should all be learning. Learning is incredibly important. Whether you want to be an entrepreneur, get better at your job, learn a new hobby, reading and watching content is incredibly important. I do it all the time. If you're watching like YouTube, for example, or any media player, there's a setting you can go to and you can actually change the playback speed. Speed it up. When you can watch quickly and you can digest it, do it, right? That'll increase the ability. If you watch on 2x, that means at any given point in time, you can watch 2 times more content, meaning that you can learn 2 times more information if you can do that. Some people, like Mike, the producer here, he watches things on 3x speed. It's because he's an editor. I can't do that personally right now, but I know a lot of people that can. The same thing goes for reading books. Now, I'm gonna give you another productivity hack. Have some earphones in your ear with white noise. Now, that will drown out all the distractions, so you don't have that delay or that distraction when you're reading. It can allow you to remain fully engaged within the content that you're reading, and it will save you tons of time. It will allow you to read much, much faster. Some people choose to do audiobooks, and some people choose to read classic books. What about doing both at the same time? Get the audiobook for the book that you're reading, and get the physical book, and put your headphones in and put the audiobook on 2 or 3 times playback speed and follow along with your eyes as you're doing it. This will not only allow you to read the book quicker, but it also will increase the ability in which you can read it. I love to read books by successful people, right? Like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or whatever. These books are an aggregate of all the lessons, all the hardships, all the problems, all the discoveries, all the epiphanies that these entrepreneurs had over the course of their entire lifetime, all compiled down to one little book. That's powerful, right? That's powerful. This is one of the best productivity hacks you can ever imagine. You don't always have to learn lessons the hard way by making the mistakes yourself. We have the history of the world given to us in the form of books that you can take advantage of. So guys, in conclusion, we just uncovered 7 or 8 productivity hacks that you can apply to your life that will make you exponentially more productive. And guys, I know this is not the normal style of my video, but since it's a bear market and since things are slow and we all have extra time, I'm thinking about doing more videos like this and other videos on finance, on how to achieve wealth, things to look out for, things to be careful of, things like that, that I believe are incredibly important on your path to financial freedom. If you're interested in me making those kind of videos, please do let me know in the comments below. Guys, if you found this valuable, please do me a favor and subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Just go ahead and smash a like on the video. Make sure you share this with your friends and family, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.